What's cracking? It's your homie Little Mystery. You are now listening to the Emo Brown Podcast, the downest fool in Chula Vista since AC Slater, homie.
I met some vatos along the way, like Bonnie and Bronco from East LA. Some of the crews, some crews on by. Got a few homies I love till I die. From all of my homeboys I try to learn not to get busted or get burned.
Ladies and gentlemen, and Golden Glove champions, we are here live and direct from the studio that Emo Brown has built with the one and only Eric Casas behind the microphone. El compa Chikle joining us today as well. Damn, it's all dark and sexy up in here. And then there's Gus in the background. He moved his chair deliberately to sit there. I just realized that. You big old fucking lush. Brought to you by the wonderful people at Grasshopper. For all your medicinal, recreational cannabis needs, don't forget to check out the main sponsor, Grasshopper. Every Tuesday, Toker Tuesday. Not today, because today is the weekend. So wait a couple of days. Go in there on Tuesday. She'll wave at you. She'll give you a discount that's 30% off. If you go in and you smile and you say, I'll take 3 Emo Brown pre-rolls for $12, you're going to get it. It's going to happen. That's the only people we're sponsoring and shouting out today, because this is not Metiche Monday. Today is a special show that requires a shot. A shot for my guy. We're here with a... How many times have you won Golden Gloves?
At least twice.
Fuck.
I was a Golden Glove champ. Golden Gloves.
We're here with a Golden Glove champion. San Diego's favorite son. El compa David Barragan, bro. Here you go. Before we get too excited here. Go ahead. Here, I have to take a sip with you, fool. Grab it. What's wrong with you? Come on, let's go. Saludcita. Yeah, that's you.
Saludcita.
Cheers.
Bota down. All right. Wow. What was that? Tres generaciones?
Tres generaciones.
Oh, yeah. I like CC behind the bar better. How about you, Casas?
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. But hey,
Me too.
Me you did it good. We're here with Coach David. Coach David, I've been training now at House of Boxing since January. And the only reason I started training is because Chikle, he sold you guys heavy. He was like, hey, man, I've been working with this gym for years now. They're in our community. They're great people. You should start training with us. I was all in. I took my son. My son started training there first.
That's right,
Con su carnal and Anthony. Big ups to Anthony. Yep. And then we just started meeting the whole family. Your jefito, tu abuelo.
Yep.
And then the more we started talking, the more I realized that there's a lot of a thread to unravel. And every time we pulled one little string, more and more and more came out. I was like, damn, we got to get you guys on the podcast because you have stories to tell. There's a lot of history. There's a lot of lineage. You guys are like the first family of boxing. If the Kardashians were in the boxing business and they lived in National City or in Paradise Hills, they would be named the Barragan family.
Yeah, one of them.
Oh, cabrón.
Yeah, there's a couple families here in San Diego.
Yeah, well, tell us about you and your family. How did you guys start in boxing? How did that happen?
So it started... Me personally, I started in 1997.
Oof.
Okay, that's my first amateur fight. But
how
my
old
family,
were you?
I'm old.
In 97. How old were you in 97?
7 years old.
Ah, cabrón.
Yeah, in 97, I was 7 years old.
We're a little behind the curve on that one, Chikle. I don't think we'll be making an amateur
think we're going to make
debut.
it. I think he was being nice to us.
Dude, 7 years old, throwing chingazos. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was 7 years old, but my first fight. But my father and grandfather started a backyard boxing gym in 1990. And if we go back even farther, my father boxed when he was like in his teenager years. So I would say like early 80s. He used to box at a gym. I think it was downtown. I believe there was a gym downtown. And then he also boxed at a gym in National City on, it was on Palm and Plaza, I believe. It was called the Junior Robles.
You had no opportunity to do anything else. You were going to be a boxer.
Yeah. So
you were destined to be a boxer.
I mean, I grew up in the boxing gym. My front yard, like I said, my father and grandfather started a backyard boxing gym. And I grew up in the gym, kind of just going out and playing. Me and my older brother, my older brother's 3 years older than me. So we used to go out and just, get the gloves, or with my uncle too. He was a little older than me as well. We would go out there and play, and just like, that was kind of normal to me,
At what point in your amateur career did you realize this is what I want to do for a living? This is what I want to do. I want to train and I want to throw chingazos.
So yeah, my first big tournament that I won was a national silver glove tournament. I was 13 years old. I was like, oh man, this is nice. This is cool. Like, man, I'm ranked number 1 in the country in my division at my age. So like
this is at 12. When you were 12, 13, you were ranked number 1 in the country.
Yeah. So how it works with the Silver Glove tournament is you fight against like San Diego, you fight against California, different parts of California. Then you fight against 5 other states, Arizona, Nevada, New Mexico. Then you create a team and go to the nationals. And then, so I won that tournament. It was a big tournament. So I was like, man, I feel like I'm getting better. And then 15, 16, I fought in another like Junior Olympic national tournament. It's like another qualifying tournament here in the United States. And I got I lost in the finals. A lot of people thought I won, but it was a good learning experience. And I was invited to these Olympic training camps and and just kind of just was getting better from there. But,
Damn.
But just little by little.
Imagínate. Yeah. Like we're behind. We're decades behind.
Yeah.
We're decades behind getting into this and learning.
We're just exercising.
We're at this point. We're trying to lose fat that's not going away. All right, no. It's just not going away. But I'm happy that you take the time because that's what I was going to ask you. It's like all of this experience, and this is just before you were an adult, and you're still taking the time to train Chikle and myself out, man.
I mean, it's something that I love. Crew. You know, I mean, it's a passion of mine, so it's not really work for me, right? If I love it, you know. So, I mean, I love to show what I've been taught, you know.
He's showing us in the ring. Yeah. Oh, who is this guy? Is this the singer for Deftones? Is that Chino Moreno from Deftones? Yeah. No, who's that? Get you
dude, that was when we first opened House of Boxing.
Oh, okay, so that's not too long ago.
I want to say that was like when I first was making my professional debut, maybe.
What year was that?
I want to say 2011, 2010.
What kind of a conversation were you having with your team, aka your pops and your grandpa, that I want to take my amateur career to the next level? I've done this. You know, I've gone to the top tiers of amateur boxing. I've represented my state. I've represented my country. I'm ready to go professional. What did your dad say?
So he was for it, but so just to bring it back a little bit too, how we started House of Boxing was a straight miracle in itself. Mm-hmm. So in 2015, in 2005, I was 15, right? That's when I got that silver medal in a Junior Olympic national tournament. And I started like getting my name out there and I was doing good. And that's when my dad's like, okay, it's getting serious now. Let's start investing in like strength and conditioning. And that was when strength and conditioning, like CrossFit type working was kind of new. So I was going to a gym up in Scripps Ranch called Fitness Quest 10. And I was going out there to train twice a week, doing some strength training. And so when I was 15, 16, that's when I started getting serious. But like I said, that following year for the same tournament, a lot of people had me winning and I was feeling pretty confident in myself and in my performance as well. Like I was doing pretty well in my performance, like fighting for these regional tournaments and winning pretty convincingly. And I was supposed to go, but me and my father were getting ready one day, getting ready for the national tournament, and we got hit by a drunk driver. Oof. So that kind of put a halt on me pursuing my boxing for a little bit because I fractured 3 of my vertebrae in my spine. Oh, man. So luckily, I didn't have to do surgery. Initially, that's what the doctors wanted to do. You know, like, hey, let's do surgery. You're going to have to put some pins in your vertebrae to fuse them together. My grandfather, my mother, like, no, this kid loves boxing. You know, I know if we put metal in his back, it's going to kind of, you know, put a halt to that, you know? So we asked for a second opinion, and then we were able to just put like a body brace on me, like a body cast, and I was able to heal within like 3-4 months. But then after time, like, you know, I had to build muscle again because I lost a lot of my muscle on my abs and my back. So it took time for me to rebuild again, you know? But the crazy thing is with that accident, I was left with some settlement money.
Some feria, bro.
A little change.
A little change. So when I got 18, I bought myself a car because I didn't have a car. So I used that money. I bought myself a little car.
Pinche Escalade.
And then a little Nissan, bro. I bought myself a Nissan. Yeah.
Ooh, smells like Adidas cologne.
And then with the rest of it, it was just sitting in the bank, you know, like it was just there. You know, I didn't know what to do with it. So it was just sitting there. And the opportunity came because to open up the House of Boxing. My parents lived 2 blocks from the boxing gym. And I told my father, like, hey, what if we had a gym there? And my dad's like, what? What do you mean? Yeah, because Rio Drive is like a cool. That's where our house of boxing is in Paradise Hills on Rio Drive, and that's how we got connected with Chikle. Yeah, and he supported the idea. We supported the idea, and it's always been a family thing. My brothers, my older brother Mike, my younger brother Anthony, kind of just grew up in it. But my brother Mike helped me out a lot at the beginning, because we were still trying to just make it happen. So I was there a lot.
So what was the vision initially for House of Boxing? Was it for a place for you to train? And because at this time you said you were 18.
I was 21 when I opened it. 20? I was 20.
So it was going to be headquarters. It was going to be home base for you.
Correct.
And a stable for other young fighters
Correct.
that were going to come up in the game?
Yeah. It was that. And then also just being, we wanted something more for the community of Paradise Hills. We thought that block on Rio Drive is a really cool block, It kind of had that Adams Avenue type feel, everyone knowing each other, walking down, grabbing a coffee. That was the initial idea, to create something bigger than just boxing. But of course, my family's been in boxing for a lot of years. So, building boxers and fighters, that's what my family's been doing for a lot of years, So it kind of just came with it. And like I said, I kind of progressed professionally. And then we had a fighter who was ranked number 1 in the WBC and fighting for the world titles as well. So that kind of helped. And just, obviously our connection with Canelo obviously took things even higher, So it just worked out, God's really blessed us, so we can't complain,
Damn, you imagine having your own gym, bro. Having your own gym to work out and do your own things and train. So when you were professionally fighting, that was still the gym was already operating. Yeah,
so I was boxing professionally, getting ready for fights, but I was also, running all the classes as well, We had morning classes, evening classes as well, trying to get it off the ground too, because people would, when we first opened the gym was because we did all this demo in this building. That building was a dump, It was an ugly green color outside, and then there was so much junk in it. It was a market. It was a market before, So there was all these all this restaurant stuff on there.
Look at these guys there, man.
So man, I look young right there, huh?
Yeah, which one are you?
What happened? Huh?
Which one are you, fool? Left or right? Look at that. Oh my God. Hell
yeah, bro.
El vato de la derecha, he looks like the singer for Sugar Ray, fool. No, that's not him.
The one kid looks like Tom Brady, bro.
Yeah, he does look like Tom Brady. Nice.
Latino.
These are all boxers that came up through House of Boxing? Is this in House of Boxing?
No, this is actually an amateur boxing event that we held at our gym.
Okay.
So we hold the amateur boxing events as well. So gyms all over San Diego come through, and even LA, Indio, California. We've had people come by. We have even Arizona come to to the events. It's a cool event. It's
San Diego's
a
a hotbed for boxing.
You know what? It hasn't always been. I would say in the 80s and early 90s, it was pretty hot. There was a couple gyms that I know of that they were doing some good stuff. And then early 2000, my father was doing some good stuff with his fighters, and I was competing. And San Diego wasn't really a hotbed, because what happens is LA is a huge hotbed for boxing. Oh, and just everything, in general. But in boxing, there's gyms over every 2 blocks. There's a gym, right? So there's so much competition, so they're able to fight a lot. Here in San Diego, there's not too much competition, and sometimes the competition is not stiff. But like I said, recently it's gone a lot better. And obviously with Canelo coming and bringing more sparring, obviously Eddie Reynoso's here in San Diego, so he has a group of fighters in there, so they're getting good work. It's starting to come up, and it's pretty cool because we're in the middle, right in between LA and Tijuana, because Tijuana has a lot of boxers as well. So
got to come through San Diego if you're going to get to LA.
Exactly. So little by little, San Diego's coming up, but yeah.
How long did your professional career span? Because I've never asked them that. I never learned about your professional career.
Yeah, so I started when I was 20 or 21, and I gave myself personally until I was 24. I said if I didn't get a goal, all right. I set a goal. I said, you know what? If I'm gonna do this, I told my dad, hey, let's do this professional boxing thing. Let's see how far we go. And I told him, I didn't tell him. I in my head, I had a goal of 24 years old. I said, you know what? If I don't get signed by a well-known manager or a top promotional company, then I'm just gonna go to school and go to get my degree and figure out what I'm gonna do, And unfortunately, opportunities didn't come up like I was hoping for them. And we went to Plan B and we got a degree from San Diego State, a business degree from San Diego State, and I did that. But yeah, I gave myself a time frame because this boxing business is a tough business.
What do
You know, it's a
promoters and these
grind.
top managers look for in a young fighter to take
now,
on them?
well, now, I mean, look at Ryan Garcia, right? Like, you got to have that social media following. You got to have that following. You know, you got to have that buzz.
You gotta
It's
sell
not
tickets.
just sell tickets, and you know, it's not just skill. Of course, it's skill, right? But you know, you got to have the full package. You know, and you got to have that wow factor. You know, when it's time to perform under the lights too, you got to be able to.
That's difficult,
perform
me imagino, no way.
No, it is for sure, and especially in boxing because like it's a one man sport. You know, it's just you. You know, so when you're in the locker room, you got to either psych yourself out or like, you know, just have that confidence, you know. And a lot of guys in the boxing game been doing it for a lot of years, you know. Like when you look at TV and watch these dudes, they've been doing this since they were 7 years old, 8 years old, been through the grinder, you know. So it's for them, it's more like second nature, where it's like, you know, this is what we do. This is part of the game, you know. So it's just with the experience.
So 24 years comes of age.
24.
It is. You're looking at 24 now. Where are you in your professional boxing career at 24?
I was 8-0 with 3 knockouts, and I was
Okay.
actually getting ready for a fight. But my birthday was in a month, bro, and I was just like, I was grinding through camp, and I wasn't performing too well as far as with sparring. I was feeling off and just like, and I just told my dad, I'm done with it, you know.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, during getting ready for a fight, I had a fight date too. I had a fight date, and you know, I just told him like, "Hey, man, I have to figure out, you know, what I'm gonna do. You know, I got my birthday in a month, and you know, I think I'm gonna go to school." My dad kind of questioned, "Are you sure you want to do this? You know, like, are you sure?" And I said, "Yes, let's do it." You know, I'd say I think I'm gonna move in a different direction. It was tough though. It was tough.
And you went
It
through
was
that
tough.
fight, though.
I didn't do the fight.
You
No,
did it.
I
You
canceled.
pulled the
Yeah,
plug
I
on the
canceled.
fight.
I pulled out.
Oh,
I pulled out of the
wow.
fight, and then I went to school. I went to school full time, and I hit it, bro. I hit it. I did the 2 years at junior college, at Southwestern College, and then transferred to San Diego State and did the San Diego thing for 2 years. But
Hell yeah.
yeah, I did that. But it was tough, man. You know,
Yeah.
just because I boxed since I was in diapers, bro. I mean, I've been around boxing. I've been, you know, it's something that you know that we've been putting work. You know, me and my family, my father, my grandfather. So it was tough. You know, It
Professional
was
career ended at 8-0.
8-0.
That's a
three-
big-
Yeah,
I'll take
undefeated.
Que levante la mano le que ganó el David. Pues nadie, güey. 8-0. Fool.
Yeah, bro. It was just, dude. Boxing's a tough
You should get a
grind,
chain
bro.
that just says 8-0 and just
8-0.
rock that shit.
Yeah.
in, fool. And then fools ask you and be like, it's about to be 9-0. Keep asking
With
questions.
two golden gloves on it.
Two
Ooh,
golden
bro.
gloves.
8-0.
Yeah, so I was 8-0 with 3 knockouts, bro. And
What was
I
your
just
walkout
said,
song?
You know what? You know what? I listened to. I used to go out to Vicente songs. You know, traditional Mexican music. But you know, I used to go out, come out with El Cachanilla. You know, I got family
Puro
from Mexicali. So
Cachanilla.
yeah, I got family from Mexicali. So you know, I like to represent my Ramos side. So shout out to my family Mexicali, my Ramos side. So
Your pops was pretty supportive of your decision to
Yeah,
stop
my pops-
boxing
yeah.
and go back to college or go to college and
yeah,
pursue
my
it.
pops has always been supportive,
Qué bueno,
man.
bro.
You know, he's of course he's pushed me, but that's what you need in the sport of boxing. You know, it's not an easy sport, bro. It's not an easy sport mentally, and a lot of it's mental. You know, of course there's that physical aspect to boxing, but there's definitely a mental part that you got to have that mental toughness. You know, you can be all buff and be all ripped and stuff, but none of that matters in the ring. Once you get in the ring,
That's what I tell
it's
Gus,
just-
fool. I always tell Gus, it's like, no, pinche, I'm a black belt. I do this in jiu-jitsu, pero una cachetada I caigo. It's over,
it's a different.
bro.
It's a different story. It's a different story when you get hit. You know, everyone. You know what's that saying that Mike Tyson says that everyone has a plan until you get hit in the face. You know, so
How does it feel to get hit in the face?
you know what? I've
never
been
gotten
doing
hit in
it.
the face.
I've
I
been
know.
doing it.
Not yet.
I've
Not
been
yet.
doing it. I've been doing it for so long. So
Yeah.
it's just like,
Second nature.
yeah, it's just like, man. But I got my bells rung a few times, bro. I've gotten dropped before.
Yeah.
I've
Yeah.
gotten dropped
Oh,
as an
wow.
amateur. I was fighting in the national PAL tournament in San Antonio, Texas, and I was boxing this dude. I was fighting at 165 at the time because I would fight professional as 154 junior middleweight, but I couldn't hold in amateur. The next weight division was 152, and then it went all the way to 165 pounds. but I couldn't hold 152 for a whole week or 3-4 days, for a tournament, because that's how you had to do it. Every day you had to weigh in the morning, before your fight. And I couldn't do that. So I had to move up to 165, and I was fighting a little bigger dudes, but, just making the best of it. But
More power at that weight.
Yeah, there is more power. And, but there's tall guys, so there's guys coming down too, guys coming down, and making 165, that were like 178, originally. And I'm like, man, I'm kind of natural.
That's your size.
That's a mismatch, bro.
Yeah, I'm kind of naturally like 165, but yeah, bro, I've gotten dropped before. And it ain't no fun. And,
When you were at the top 12 to 16 years old, who were some of those fighters you got in the ring with?
You know what? There was the guy that I got dropped by. He was ranked number 1 or 2 in the country at the time. He was
Floyd Mayweather.
There was a guy by the name of Jesse Hart. But no. But as far as guys that I grew up with in the amateur game, I mean, Leo Santa Cruz was a good friend of mine. When I got that silver medal, you stick with your Southern California guys, because we see them in tournaments a lot. So me and Leo Santa Cruz hooked up and just hanging out. And but other boxers, I mean, I think that was probably, and there was another boxer named Saddam Ali too, who did some good stuff in the professional game, pretty decent stuff. But as far as here inside like Southern California too, I mean, we know a lot of guys. I mean, as far as amateurs here in Southern California, that kind of.
Anytime we go to your gym, man, it's pretty awesome because you look at the Wall of Fame, and you have Mario Lopez on there too. It's crazy, but there's like a wall of like boxers on there, man. That's crazy. The history, the culture that you guys have developed there in Paradise Hills on Rio Drive at House of Boxing. Yeah, that's come over years and years and years, man.
It's years. Like I said, it's 1990. My father and grandfather started a backyard boxing gym. They bought 2 punching bags, and they wanted to just help out the kids free of charge. Come through, we'll show you some boxing, and that's what they done for years, man. So I mean, 1990, a lot of years of work,
What happened after the backyard gym?
So my father and grandfather started that backyard boxing gym. Then after they did the backyard boxing gym, they went to a small garage in Shelltown, kind of by Main Street. And we were there, and it kind of formed into this nonprofit youth program, which still exists today. They got a building on National City Boulevard. It's called Community Youth Athletic Center. It's still there today, functioning a nonprofit youth program. So then in 2010, that's when I decided to open up the boxing gym. I told my dad the idea. I said, "Hey, Pops, like, there's that gym, there's that building there. I have this money here. What if I did something and we started something right there in Rio Drive, in Paradise Hills?" And my dad was supportive, like I said, he was all for it. My grandfather was for it. And they've always been supportive of me and my dreams. And they have experience building gyms. So it kind of came second nature to them, just as far as getting going, and just all the creative ideas. My father's pretty creative guy. So, I mean, he's always doing stuff.
It's a gym. Bro.
Always doing something.
Hey,
Always
that's a fucking
something.
gym. You go in there, people are working, people are sweating. Yeah. It's a different
and that
smell.
That was the vision too.
Work.
That was
It's
the
like
vision.
shows.
Hey, that was the vision of House of Boxing as well too. Because during the time that we opened House of Boxing, it was 2010. MMA was booming, especially here in San Diego. It was all the military dudes here in San Diego. So I mean, they're all for MMA. And initially, when we opened House of Boxing, we had jiu-jitsu at our gym.
Yeah.
We had jiu-jitsu because the guy's like, "Bro, you're not going to make it. Like, if you just do boxing, it's not, you got to have something extra and blah, blah, blah." So we're like, we knew a guy, shout out to our guy, Eddie Valdez, Pitbull Jiu-Jitsu. He came through. He's like, "Hey, I'll do a class for you. Like, we could do a jiu-jitsu class. I'll do it twice a week and blah, blah, blah." So we did it, but it just wasn't the feel that we envisioned for House of Boxing. We envisioned House of Boxing, old school style gym, old rustic metal signs, old boxing history photos on the wall. That was House of Boxing. So, initially eventually we parted ways with our guy Eddie, and we just said, we told him this, we want to stick to just boxing. Let's stick to that, let's just have that old school style boxing and just show the sport of boxing.
Yeah.
So we stuck with it, and
Created the culture there, man.
Created the culture, the boxing culture. So
much so that even Ground Floor Murals decided to come out and put some murals up out there. ¿Qué pusieron? Pusieron al compita Manny Pacquiao.
Manny Pacquiao.
El compa Manny Pacquiao. Canelo's on there. Who else is on there, Chikle? Who else has done murals up there? Is it just Ground Floor Murals that's on it?
Well, on the side. Yeah.
On the side, yeah?
On the front.
On the side.
Oh, man.
Local artist painted the name.
Go ahead, who's that?
But initially, Chikle was there from the start too.
Yeah.
You know? It's
Chikle
funny how he got
doesn't know how to
connected.
take a fucking the baton and start running with it, you know? Chikle's learning, bro. Chikle's learning. Go ahead,
I don't
Chikle.
like to talk about myself like that.
When the camera's on, shit. Because aside from no te caes de los sigo, bro.
Yeah,
On
bro.
the thread.
And Chikle was there when we first started. He knew my cousin, my father's
David.
cousin, David. So I mean,
Another David.
yeah, another David, and he's like, "Hey, I have someone who can get your logo for you because we didn't have a logo. We were trying to figure out what we can do for the logo." And Chikle came through, bro, and supported us too. You know, whenever we do events, he's always supportive. So,
For others of you watching at home, anytime you hear Coach David have a sniffle, take a shot of whiskey. Van a estar bien pedos al final de este pinche podcast, but you just keep on doing that.
And that's not coffee in this cup.
No.
by the way.
What's in the cup? What's in the cup?
we got some cold brew. It's good
He said cold brew.
Coach, who came up with the name House
You know
of Boxing?
what? That's a good question. I want to say my older brother did, man. My older brother, real creative dude, bro. Like really low key. But as far as like events and anything, like my older brother definitely has a lot to say in that stuff. And I want to say we were at the table one night and we're just throwing out names as far as what we can do for names. And House of Boxing just stuck. You know, we're like, hey, let's go to the house to like train. Like that sounds pretty cool. Like, let's go to the house. And then like it just stuck. You know, we wanted that home feel. We wanted everyone to feel welcome. We want like the whole community to come in. Like that's something my family been doing for years. You know what I mean? It's just kind of giving back to the community. That's something my family's been doing for a lot of years. So
Look, as the newbie there, I completely feel that. You know, I get in there and I'm bringing my son, and somebody asked me today, hey, seat number 5, El Caesar, today at Little League was telling me, all your kids say what's up to me, but then I talk to your middle kid and he just kind of looks at me and he's like, does he talk? What's he do? He's like, I was like, and wifey said, it's all about respect with him. I was like, he's got to earn his trust and respect for him to be cool with him.
Yeah.
And it's true, because when we took him to House of Boxing, I was like, oh man, we took him to a couple of gyms. And I want to talk about different kinds of gyms and the academies and how they all get along and stuff. But we went to a couple of other ones, and he was just kind of like, nah, wasn't feeling it. As soon as we got to House of Boxing though, man. Who works the front? Does your mom work the front?
Yeah, so it's a family-run business, bro.
Yes.
Literally a family-run business. My grandfather is one of the coaches, my father, my brothers. And as far as any of the other boxing coaches, they've kind of just learned under us, you know, because we don't really like to grab coaches from other places just because they don't know the system and they're just not familiar with House of Boxing. So, and yeah, my mom runs the front desk pretty much.
Broke it all down for us. She broke down the cost. She broke down, this is the schedule. This is who you'll train with. Do you want one-on-ones? And I said, you know what? Let me try one-on-one with this kid. Because this kid, he's está chiquito todavía. I don't know what's up. I want him to learn to be more coordinated. I have the perfect coach for you. Coach Anthony is available and blah, blah, blah. So then I talked to Anthony. Then I brought Anthony over and I talked to him and said, I'm more concerned with my son becoming a little bit more coordinated with his limbs, how to throw more punches, this, woo-woo. And your brother's like, I got you, good. It's all good. And yeah, now it's been like 3 months. My kid goes every Monday, trains with Coach Anthony, has a blast. So I can attest to go in there and you guys make it feel comfortable, because now my kid is all about it. He's at home with the little one. All right, Oliver, I'm going to hit you with a 1-2. Just put your hands up. You know, so he has like stuffed animals. He's like, look, this is 1, 2. And I'm like, all right, cool. So now he's like, come with me, Oliver.
Nice.
Come box with me. And then my dumbass goes in there now. And I'm like, all right. You know, I come in always like, hey, ¿qué onda pasando aquí, fool? You know, and I learned real quick that you can't be on a sick one when you go train boxing.
You can't.
Because you're going to vomit. You're going to have a good time. You're not going to have a good time if you're going in there not ready and taking it serious. It took me 2 lessons to go in there and realize, oh, shit. This is
a different workout.
Yeah, jiu-jitsu. I tip my cap to my black belt friend over there, Gus, you know. Jiu-jitsu is difficult as fuck, bro. Jiu-jitsu is otro pelo. It's a full, what I assume to be a full body workout when I did jiu-jitsu like that.
Balls in the mouth.
En el hocico, thumbs in the culo. But then I went to House of Boxing and I did the couple training sessions with you. I've never hurt like that, man. I've never like, because at the end of every session, you have us do cardio, you have us do okay, now we're going to do crunches, now a toe touches heel to the sky. But then you fucking have us do, ¿cómo se llama esa pinche madre? When you plank.
The plank.
I would watch people
Those are easy, though.
Yeah, I would watch people playing.
It's
and
a
I'd be
toe
like,
touch.
What is
the
this?
toe touch.
I can't go past 15 seconds for the first 2 months of planking, bro. I'm fucking dying. Yo, you missed class last week when you were out eating at Cheesecake Factory. And you didn't go train with us, Chikle. But I did 57 seconds of planking.
Damn, you almost got that minute.
I almost got there.
Yeah.
Almost.
And I looked at coach and said, "Ya mero." He's like, "Almost." And then his fucker's like, "Ula." I was like, that shit was close. I tip my cap to you guys that train all the time, because boxing is probably one of the most difficult things I've ever had to do, especially when you decided to fucking dangle that carrot in front of our face and say, "Come and spar." Come and spar. I feel like that was a trap, dude. I feel like it was rush week. I feel like we're going to get hazed. Oh, you want to be part of the fraternity? You want to be part of the family?
Was he talking to you that whole training session? He would come over and like whisper things in my ear.
Like, what would he tell you? What would he tell you?
He's like, "Hey, check out. I'm gonna give you this headgear." Boom. And he would show me all the straps and stuff, and then he would walk away.
Nah, bro. He walked up to me. He's like, "Hey, I'm gonna have you box with me a couple of rounds, and then it's gonna be you against Chikle." And that never happened.
Carlos, get on the mic, Carlos.
Which led me to believe. Turn it off. Get him in front of the mic, but
if you're gonna talk, might as well talk.
Yeah, Jesus Christ!
Yeah. Carlos was there.
What up? I'm here.
Yeah, okay.
I was there too.
Okay, turn them off. And then so we're there, fucking, and he's telling me like, "All right, we're gonna get in the ring. We're gonna do a couple of rounds, and then you're gonna fight Chikle." And then I never got in the ring with Chikle. Because this motherfucker knew that after 2 rounds with him,
we were gonna be done.
You guys were done skis.
I was done after 1.
I danced. I did my thing.
Yeah, you did your thing.
I got popped in the face. And I've never gotten popped in the face before. And I wouldn't even say you popped me in the face more. You popped me on the top of the head. So
forehead.
He hit me right square with the jab. Pass. And I went back and I was like, oh, shit. I saw stars. I saw pajaritos. I saw all the things that I see when I was Saturday morning cartoons. I was like, this shit was real. And it was a love tap. You didn't fuck me up. You didn't try to rather. It was just like a little bing, and you fucking see way, and it centered me, and it was like I did shrooms for the first time. It unlocked doors in my head, and I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it's always good to have like an experienced guy spar a newer guy, just because when the newer guys go at it, they just they go back to street fighting. They resort back to, just being at the bar and just like, rah.
Let's just say un ejemplo. Let's just say you are at a bar.
If you were
at 3 pumps.
Let's say you're at a bar, where you're having drinks, and then you see somebody get in a fight, and you're like, haha, you're just laughing probably at their style, how they're fighting.
I would probably have to, like to hop in and help them out.
Okay. Really?
Especially if it's a friend,
Okay.
I have to, if it's a friend, it depends on how it starts too. But if he didn't start it,
that's dangerous.
Then but
what if
he started?
What if your friend gets sucker punched?
Oof.
Oh man!
And the place doesn't have
back. Coach got your back.
Game over.
I would have to have his back.
Yeah,
I would have to have his back.
Because I've given this speech to my kids like numerous times when they started training anything that dealt with like jujitsu. I said, this is when you learn this skill and you learned how to do this. It's not for you to go out and pick fights with people. It's for you to defend yourself. If you're with your family or your little brothers are in school and they need help protecting themselves, it's for you to help them. It's not for you to be a bully. It's not for you to be a little punk and mess around with people.
And learning a martial art or any type of martial art form like boxing or Muay Thai or Jiu-Jitsu teaches that self-control as well. You know. In those situations,
discipline.
Discipline,
unless you're Cobra Kai, dog.
That shit works in reverse for me, fool. Because now that he showed me a 1-2. He showed me a 1-2 fucking step back,
I'm gonna fuck
right, left,
up.
right. Like as soon as he told me that, I was like, ooh, that's a new arsenal. That's
dead.
a new weapon in the fucking tool belt.
You
bro.
see yourself using that one?
I like that
Hey,
one.
Shamps, I'm getting my mouthpiece soon, dog.
Okay.
Yeah, we gotta get it. Yeah. Last time
we had
What do you
to
get
have
the
a tournament.
fangs? Are you gonna have the fangs?
Hey, Coach got me. He was like, yo, you need to get your mouthpiece.
Yeah,
he told me. Hey, no,
no.
last week he told me I was ready. I was like, okay, Coach.
Get the one with diamonds, though.
Okay.
Yeah, no, he's ready. Get him a mouthpiece so he doesn't talk anymore. Hey, mute that motherfucker. Carlos is part of the crew. He's there with us now because we started this shit from like just you and me kind of going, inviting me
Yeah.
in. And I was like, hey, this is kind of fun. We should tell some of the homies that fuck around with us to come out. And we have,
Yeah.
and the most loyal one has been your son, fool.
Yeah,
I mean,
Damien.
Damian has been the most loyal training
Sparrow.
partner, and he gets down. That little fool's like,
he does.
it
He's
makes me
getting
think
better.
back. It's like
He's got a punch.
Gus and I always talk about
The
this.
left hand.
Like we would be like in high school, and I wish that I had learned to golf in high school, and I wish I had learned how to do wrestling when I was in
taxes,
high school.
shit.
Because now, in my fucking 40s, I look back and it's like, fuck, imagine we're over here wasting our time golfing. Like we went golfing yesterday. Bro. And we played with some white dudes from PB, my kind of people and shit, fool. And then as soon as we got linked up with them, because we were playing alone, smoking, having a good time, having a horrible time, actually. I was having a shitty round. But as soon as we got linked up with them, with the two white guys,
Yeah, valió.
I was like, all right, fool, yeah. Like this, it's on now, fool. I'm not gonna fucking lose
And
to
you
white
turned
dudes.
it up?
Yeah, for like 3 holes. I turned it on for 3 holes, and then these white boys showed us what it's like to start golfing when you're a 6, 7, 8, 9-year-old. Because they were doing things and just like make it. I was like, I want
Behind
to
the
be
back?
I was like, I want to do
Damn,
this.
I know. What kind of things?
Hitting the ball accurately every time, with distance. And I was like,
The
how do you
stroke?
learn that? How do you learn that? And I was like,
Between the
I
legs.
wish we did this as youngsters. Which is why my kids now do the shit that I wish I did and not force it on them. But it's like, hey, there are opportunities there. Do you want to learn how to box? You want to learn how to do jujitsu? You want to learn how to golf? Boom. And they've done all of them, Because I feel it's all tools for life. I've learned golf, you can only rely on yourself. It's not a team sport. You're out there, you put yourself in a shitty situation, you got to get yourself out of that situation. You can't rely on your teammates because you're golfing. You're doing jujitsu, you get pushed down, you got to get up and you got to get pushed back. Because if you don't, it's over.
Thumb in the butt.
The Gus approach. The Gus Las Vegas Masters over 40
Oh,
approach.
damn, Gus.
Fucking-
Putting you out there, dog.
He put it out there. Fool. He put it out there. He
Smell
shook
it.
it around and he's like,
Hey, he showed up, though. He showed up. That's the
Hey,
big
that's
deal, right?
true. He was there.
Showed up.
He was.
He
I was
got on
proud.
the mat.
Hey, that's my best friend. He said, I'm gonna go do Masters.
Hell yeah.
In fucking Vegas.
That's
Come with
right.
me. I said, all right. I
Let's
got in a
go.
sick one. I got sunstroke, but I woke up and I helped him out the next morning. We were there. I'm proud of him. I'm proud of anyone who takes a fucking chance and puts their talents on display.
Hell yeah.
That's
You know?
one of the things about House
That's
of Boxing when you walk in, talking about the feeling, the family there, the environment is very definitely very inviting and very like support system. You're going to be able to do it. Let's go. You do better next time. I'm here. Win or lose, I'm here. You're going to get better. And that's a big deal. Just like you were there supporting your best friend.
Who loses?
Everybody wins, bro.
All I do is win.
Everybody wins. I can't wait to. We're gonna get in a fight though, for real, like Royal Rumble. But with
Like we're
boxing
going to a
gloves,
bar
bro.
and
We're just
start
gonna-
one.
I'm gonna take Coach David right now and his compa Louis over there. We're gonna go to fucking the Elwood and we're just gonna go in.
No, go to Canyon Club.
Go to Canyon. No, hey, fool, we'll lose.
That canopy's gonna be shaking.
We ain't gonna win at the Canyon. No, man. But that's what I was trying to talk to you about. That only because I feel that boxing is an important cornerstone on a youngster on how to learn discipline, how to
No, for
learn
sure.
respect. You have a son.
Confidence.
You have a couple sons. You have a whole soccer team as a family now, fool.
I have 3 kids. I have a daughter and 2 boys. Yeah.
What if they come up to you and say, "Dad, I want to box"? What are you gonna tell them?
No, I'm gonna show them. I think it's definitely good for any young kid, especially in today's age with iPhones and this whole mental health stuff going on. I think it's definitely beneficial for kids. Getting in any type of martial arts, whether it's jiu-jitsu, boxing, or Muay Thai, just to build that self-confidence. Build that self-confidence to relieve stress on the back. So that's cheapest therapist sometimes is just paying the gym membership, going working out, or like I said, we tell our members just hitting a bag. Some people go for strictly therapeutic
Yeah,
reasons. just
super,
to,
dude. All of a
hit
sudden,
bag,
last week, I was having a
So-
bad week, and Coach was like, yo, you're the best week. I was pounding it.
Let's go.
Yeah, I was pounding
pretty-
stress
it's
relief,
low.
bro.
It's pretty clean now, though, right?
Oh shit! All of a sudden, look at this guy. What the fuck?
Yo.
Hey, but
Thanks, Coach.
it's a pretty clean sport now, though, right? Because I lived in Vegas for a while, and the homies used to train people back in the days, and dude, it was dark back then.
Like, what do you mean? Like, whoa,
they were
yeah,
just,
yeah.
dude, like it was kind of like anything goes type shit. back
Yeah?
in the day, yeah.
Oh shit, we'll get into that. I want to talk about the relationship between academies and boxing gyms and all that. But you were touching on the mental health and the children and learning in this day and age. We were golfing and my wifey hit me up and she said that my oldest son got in a scuffle at school. And I was like, oh shit, what up? What happened? And it ended up that I guess somebody in school like push my son, punch my son, and pulled his hat down and this, that.
Oh, dang.
And I was upset. I was like, well, what happened? You didn't do anything, Mijo? And I didn't get the full story until I got home, you know? And when I got home, the full story was he was smaller than me, Dad. Like I knew,
nice.
he's like, I knew that if I put hands on him, it wasn't right. And it's like I was gonna win. I was bigger than him, and I didn't feel that it was right.
Oh, it's like self-control.
Yeah,
It wasn't
so then I was like,
necessary.
yeah. In the back of my head, I was like, fuck, I was being such a weenie to him. I was like, no, mijo. I said, put your brother on the phone. I said, get your brother on the phone. And I was like, yo, Jackson, what are we gonna do on Monday? He said, I got it, Dad. And then wifey was like, told me those. I was like, oh, I feel like an ass. I was like, hey, Jackie, we're not doing that. I said, Jackson, we're not doing that. But it felt really good when my son like sat with me and said, hey, I didn't do it, not because I didn't want to do it, because I knew if I did it, there was no point for it.
It's like little teeth.
Yeah, like, yeah, I said, I'm going to win, Dad. And so I was like, all right, I got it. And that made me feel good. And it brought it full circles, like saying, boom, he's learning self-control. He's learning diffusion of a situation. And you don't always have to, and I'm the opposite way. And I've been very fortunate, very lucky in my 44 years that the experiences of me getting put to seeing red and acting, I've been very few, bro. I can count them on one hand, you know? And they haven't always come out right, you know? I've gotten punched in the face and I've gone, or punched in the side of it. No me golpeó. No me hiciste nada, güey.
Wait, what's the record out in the streets? What's the record?
Out
Are
of
you
the
8-0?
I am 2-1. I am 2-1. And I got my ass handed to me. I'm a piece of shit. Well, I was a piece of shit in my early 20s. Bad. And we were out at a place called Moondoggies.
The worst spot ever.
Sucio.
With the same guys you golfed with yesterday.
Échale.
Let me tell you about this one, dog. So we were at Moondoggies. I think I was like 22, 21, right? And we were just hanging out. And I don't know. I guess I was drinking bad whiskey. And we were out there and I heard these guys talking in a Boston accent.
Oh.
And they were
what
just
were they
saying
talking about?
That's
That's Canadian.
Ladies and gentlemen.
I crossed the border.
Teacher
My
of
bad.
the year, Chikle. So they were just doing some shit, and I don't know what went through my head, but I went up to him and say, "Fuck you, dog. Fuck your Boston accent. Fuck Boston." For no reason, dude. Being an idiot for no reason.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, until I got hit. And I look around and I'm like, the people I'm with ain't gonna do shit. Except one guy, right? And then I kind of took a step back and he laughed. He looked at his fucking buddies like, and then I went up to say, "Fuck your mother." I was like, oh.
You better be ready, bro.
My body got cold. Like I said that dumb shit, and I took a step back, and my body got cold, and then I said, "Ooh, it's on." It felt like the movie Good Will Hunting, where like the slow motion punch on the basketball court. He came up and he missed me, but he hit my best friend who was ready to fight. Yeah. As soon as he got knocked down, I was like, "There's no way I'm winning this fight." Yeah. We got lumped up, whatever.
It was a good era to do that.
Yeah,
you can't do that anymore.
You can't do that shit anymore.
No.
Fool.
Either everyone's strapped or knows how to fight.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah. And that's what I told my kids and wife. I was like, that they got to do jujitsu because if any of these weenies take after me and being a dumbass, they're gonna get in a fucking fight. At the end of the fight, they picked us up. They picked me up. He said, "Hey, you've got balls." In his fucking accent, he's like, "Let me go fucking buy you a pint." So they picked us up and we went into Moon. And the fucking
sound like you too all of a sudden.
Blood, Sunday blood. They took us into the bar, and the owner or the guy working fucking Moondogs is like, "You guys better leave. The cops are on their way."
Oh, wow.
And then we ended the fight, got up. He bought us pints. We all had a beer. He said, "You got balls," talking all that shit. You can't fight for shit.
Were the good old days.
Yeah, he said, "You can't fight for shit." But at
How
least
old were you?
21, 22.
Damn.
Yeah, and that week I started training at the Lion's Den on Bonita Road. Now we're Azteca is, I think.
Oh, that one's the Elwood now.
No, wait, no, not the bar. On Bonita Road, there was a jiu-jitsu academy, and it was owned by Ken Shamrock, and Ken Shamrock and Vernon White. Acá bien muy Thai el vato. And our coach taught us, and I told him the story, what happened, and my roommate went with me, and we're like, "This is what happened." He's like, "That's not gonna happen on my clock, boys. We're gonna Cobra Kai." Yeah, and they it turns out, dude, they were the Cobra Kai Academy of like MMA. Yeah, they were like, our style is street fighting. So if you see a guy with Timberlands, that's your target. Break their ankle. And I was like, okay, shit. Yeah. And then we started shopping other like jiu-jitsu spots around. And they're like, "Oh, don't go there. That's a wrong practice and this that." And I just learned. I was like, "Whoa."
How long were you there?
I did it for like 6 months to 10 months. Yeah. And then I was like,
Before you figure it out.
bro, it was hard.
I went every week.
Bro,
You're like,
man,
something's fishy, but I don't know. I can't
we were
pinpoint
there.
it.
No, me and Mikey the Nose, my compa Mikey the Nose, my roommate, we were there going 3 days a week, fool. Non-stop.
shit, you couldn't pinpoint it?
Bro, no, we were going in. No,
I
yeah,
kind of
we-
like this attitude.
After that, I said, I'll keep talking shit because at least now I know how to defend myself. At least, and I've always carried that with me until I started doing jujitsu again, and then I learned, I learned like a douchebag. All right, I learned jujitsu like an asshole, the wrong way to train mixed martial arts, and they broke me all down again and started teaching me, and it's still a little douchey and shit. Like I know Gus trains at a facility where it's like super respectful,
Like they read books and shit.
super traditional, bro. Like it's a whole
Really?
different, like it's hardcore, and all of these jujitsu academies are hardcore. How does that compare to boxing academies?
Yeah.
Like how many boxing academies are there in San Diego, roughly?
There's quite a few. I mean, I don't know a number on top of my head, but I mean, there's some gyms that have been around for a lot of years. I mean, a lot have got out of the sport as well. But I mean, right now there's a pretty good amount of gyms right now. I mean, I don't know on top of my head, but
Do you guys hold tournaments where it's like House of Boxing against whatever academy?
no, I mean, but
Does that happen anymore, or was that just in
That-
the Rocky movies? Fuck.
That that happens where like multiple gyms, all over San Diego County. We send out so everyone, all the gyms here in San Diego should be signed up to a USA Boxing. Need to have a USA Boxing license to have like an event and stuff like that. So it has to be USA Boxing sanction.
Okay.
If it is not, then it's called a smoker fight. So it's kind of done illegally.
Oh, yeah.
Where
Ooh, I
they
like
don't
that
have
shit.
USA Boxing judges.
Michael Vick is there or what?
So was that?
Is Michael Vick there?
Nah, but I mean, yeah, like I said, USA Boxing sanctioned events. But I mean, we invite everyone. We invite everybody. Hey, this is the date we're having the event.
It's like
Send
blood
us-
sport.
Unreal.
Without the license, it's blood sport,
It's
fool.
like just like
Well, that's
free for
those
all,
are
Cock fights.
Those are my
in the
those are
backyard.
my
because there's
memories.
certain rules. There's certain rules too. You have to like.
Don't talk about it.
There's certain rules. The first rule. Yeah. There's no Fight Club, but yeah, there's certain rules. Like you got to be an age above or age below that person, within 5 pounds, and as long as both parties, both gyms agree to the match, then you sign up for the fight. And yeah, but like I said, here in San Diego, I mean, it's pretty good. Everyone's pretty close with each other. Everyone knows
Yeah.
each other. But as far as LA, there's so many gyms. So we send out invites to all these different gyms and stuff like that.
There's
so,
a sense of pride, no? There's a sense of like, ooh, let's get
Yeah, oh,
high.
yeah, for sure.
I'm representing the house. Like, I gotta get
for
out
sure.
there.
For sure. And then, of course, certain gyms have certain name, like, hey, you want to represent, for us, House of Boxing, you want to represent well, and we don't like putting just any kid to box either. We want to make sure that
ready.
they represent, the House of Boxing well, and that they're trained well, and that, they've been put through gym wars, right? Like, getting put through those gym wars is really important. So when fight date comes, you're ready to perform.
A couple of the boxers right now in your gym at the house that you guys are proud of and you're putting up on display. Who are some of the
we
top
have
dogs
two right now, man. We have two young 19 and 20-year-old professional boxers. Daniel Morales, who's undefeated as a professional boxer.
4-0.
Also, we
4-0.
have 4-0.
4-0.
And then we have another boxer, Adrian El Raton Torres.
Raton Perro.
So he's another up-and-comer, man. 2-0. Or is he 3-0?
3-0.
He's 3-0.
Yeah,
Yeah, 3-0
3-0
with 2 knockouts.
Fool, we were at their
really?
last fight.
Yeah.
We were at their last fight.
Yeah.
And it was
27.
awesome, dog. That no, not the one coming up. The one that
next one.
the last one we went to.
Yeah.
It was who was the headliner right now? El Rey.
El Rey Lorenzana.
Oh, El
Yeah,
Lázaro
so he's another
Lorenzana.
San Diego kid. He's
Yeah.
up and coming dude. He's over there training with Eddie Reynoso and the whole Canelo team over there. So, so he's another up and comer, man. But San Diego is starting to pick up with boxing. So there's another professional event, March 27th.
Yeah.
here at
May
the
27th.
Four Punch.
We're going.
May 27th.
We're going. And this time we're getting a VIP table. I don't care what
Let's
coach
go.
says. Coach, bro. Coach said, nah, bro, you don't want a VIP table. Turns out we didn't because he had to walk outside to get drinks.
Yeah.
And we just
I
went like
know, there
this.
was
Well, he didn't say
And the
that.
drinks came to us.
He didn't say that. He
It was our
laughed at
kids
me.
bringing them,
He
but
laughed at
still.
me. Yeah.
No, man. El Raton and
Yeah.
Morales. What are your guys' plans for them, bro? What kind of
So they're-
excitement and what kind of training? What goes into this whole thing right now?
They're still young, man. They're still
let's
young,
corrupt
so
them.
they're learning.
I'm bringing him on the podcast. I talked to
me too. No, for sure.
I talked to Raton and he's like, okay, let me finish the next fight. And I said,
Yep.
cool, whenever you're ready, we'll get you
Nice.
in here. I want to do what we can since I know what you guys are all about now.
Yeah.
And I know fucking you guys are to the core representing. I was like, fuck,
Family.
well, what can we do to help promote? I said, fuck, all we
Yeah.
do is talk shit and put people on the platform. Let's bring them on the podcast.
Yeah, man.
Damn.
They're both young dudes chasing the dream, right? But they're on good path, man. They're on a good path, and they're in good hands as far as with who's managing them and who's coaching them. So they're with my father and my grandfather. Like I said, they've been doing it for a lot of years. So, and I mean, they've met a lot of people in the boxing game, and that's going to be able to take them to that next level. So as long as they keep performing and they stay focused and stay disciplined, they should be on track, man. I mean, they're two talented kids.
So the House of Boxing is like a network. If you're doing your thing, you go in there, you open some eyes, you get put on some cards, you do well on those cards, you get put on bigger cards, you keep doing good on those cards, eventually el abuelito or tu papá will introduce them into somebody who can take their career to the next level?
that's eventually the goal, you know.
But is that like the promoter or like a coach? Because they'll stay with them as their coach, right?
Yeah, so my father and grandfather, they'll stay coaches, and we're in the process too, the House of Boxing, hopefully start managing boxers as well. So
Breaking news on Emo Brown. Emo Brown
does that
News
mean?
Network.
What does that mean?
So we'll start. It's more just for us. It's just we've been helping out boxers for a lot of years. My father and grandfather dedicate a lot of time, a lot of not only money, but just all the people they've met over the years. So all the networking that they've done and the good relationships that they've built. So now I feel like doors can open for these young boxers, and it's only right, if we sign them to a manager contract, and just protect.
Yeah, that's dope. That's that legacy right there.
Protect the House of Boxing's interest. My father and grandfather, and just and my father and grandfather are good people. That's the main thing, man. Is they're not trying to outget any fighter or come up on anybody.
Is it a nasty game? Is this a nasty game that you guys are in?
It is a tough game, bro. It's just a tough game too. It's just a tough game.
Seems pretty cutthroat. Seems like people are out there like
I mean, it's
trying
like
to.
that in any business
sport.
or any sport.
Not
So,
with
I mean,
us and our crew. Here in our crew, we do
Everybody eats.
everything we can to
Everybody eats.
elevate everyone
Anything, that's
around
it.
us.
That is true.
Being cutthroat and that's in any, whether it's I'm pretty sure like in the bar scene or whether it's barbershop or whether it's teachers or whatever.
Oh, you
there's
should see
always that.
teachers full. Damn.
Hey,
My
it's
pay
in
day off.
everything. It's in everything. So I mean, like I said, my father and my grandfather have a great name, man. I mean, they have a great heart for people in general, helping out people, and especially their boxers and their fighters. We want the best interest.
It shows
for them.
too.
So-
Do you still have the adverse? How do you say it?
I don't know if
The what?
Like,
Anniversary?
No.
Adversity?
I just feel like back in the day, dude, like there was a chance of like a kid that just like have nothing. You know what I mean? Like being
like a
on
Mike
this-
Tyson
Yeah,
story.
like dude,
from,
is there still those? Like, I mean, there's probably other cities, right, where like it's still tougher.
Yeah,
but,
yeah, of course.
Yeah.
There's still stories out there of the Rocky story, right? It's like the Rocky story, right?
Yeah,
Like,
or just like the
just-
inner city, like tough life. You know what I mean? I just feel like everyone's so cushioned right now. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
everyone's softer right now.
Yeah.
Hey, fool, speak for yourself. We're out there training, dog. All right, we're out there
No,
training.
Eric, when you
No,
coming,
I mean-
Casas, let's roll up.
I'm trying to
'cause-
make my debut in the next year, dog.
Let's go.
Imagínate.
Over
40.
Hey,
Over 40.
Laser Latino.
First fight I ever went to, Julio Cesar Chavez, when I was 5 years old. My
Nice.
grandfather
No way.
in Tijuana. Yeah.
In Tijuana.
Damn.
Okay.
And I remember they were throwing piss, dude. They were like, people were like, didn't want to leave. So they were just pissing in cups and then throwing it.
Damn.
Anytime I throw a cup of piss, I want to leave. That's like my next move is to get the fuck out of there.
This must have been like
Let's stay.
1986 or something. Yeah.
Damn, in Tijuana?
Yeah,
No,
Tijuana.
that's a whole
Damn,
different.
you remember that?
That's a whole different.
Yeah,
thing.
that's a big memory, dude. It's like,
That's a lot of
That's
people.
wild.
yeah.
Yeah, Chavez was a big part of my family. Just getting together with family to watch these fights.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah,
That doesn't
Pay-per-view.
exist anymore, fool.
Yeah.
That doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah.
I was just talking to somebody about when I was young, we would have boxing events at the house on a monthly basis.
Party.
I remember Pinchy Sugar Ray, Leonard contra Tommy Hearns. I remember Marvelous Marvin Hagler against Tommy Hearns. I remember Mike Tyson against a slew of fucking boxers that
1 minute
weren't shit.
fights.
Yeah, the 1 minute fights and everybody. My job was to get 12 pieces of paper, write a number, and then put it in a fucking hat. Collect $10 from everybody, real talk, and go. And
I miss those days, man.
And then somebody would buy me a round, and I would win, fool. I would fucking win the round, and I would get $120. You know, and it was just the whole family would come over.
They let you in.
Yeah, and all the kids were there. You know, that's how I learned how to drink. That's how I learned how to eat ceviche. It was just that's how I learned how to talk shit because you just hear people, all the family members, just talking shit to each
What
other.
era is this? What era is this?
Early 90s.
90s,
Early
yeah.
90s. And the
Early
big
90s.
fight that were always the Julio Cesar Chavez fights.
yeah,
bro.
always.
All right. The Julio Cesar Chavez de la Hoya fight. I was a de la Hoya fan and a Chavez fan. But as soon as you said you were a de la Hoya fan, es que eres un pinche güero.
Game over.
Es que eres un pinche gringo.
What about Morales?
Yeah. Oh, dude, El Terrible. And,
Terrible.
like all of those fucking fights. They don't exist anymore, fool. We have fucking Jake Paul now, dog. All right? We have
so
fucking
fake now.
we have
It's so
celebrities
weak,
throwing
bro.
putazos and shit.
Yeah.
Bring it back,
How do you keep
David.
it so? How do you
Bring
keep
it fucking
boxing
back.
stronger? How do you make it strong again?
I mean,
That's what I said, fool. Why you guys making fun of me?
It's because you said it in English. You said it fool, you said it in cursive. Your fucking words came out like it was a DUI. I was like,
yeah, I'm not sure. I think definitely social media has a factor in this. You know, like YouTube. Obviously, like you said, you just mentioned Jake Paul's name. I mean,
It's that social media.
media, and then I mean, there's still boxing out there. I mean, I watch boxing still. I mean, I still follow all the guys. I mean, there's still hardcore boxing fans. I mean, look
Yeah,
at
we're
Canelo.
out there.
Canelo just fought in Mexico and filled a 60,000.
Akron.
That's right.
Akron Stadium and just sold that out.
The
You know
Chivas
what I
even
mean?
have to move their date.
And I think I just seen a number. I think there was 14 million people in Mexico that watched that fight. So in Mexico, boxing's still big. You know, boxing's still big.
Yeah.
But here in the United States, it's definitely changed a little bit. You know, obviously with social media, you definitely, like I mentioned before, social media, you have to have that.
gotta build that want. You gotta
Yeah.
build
I think
that
too,
name.
like
Yeah, no more Don
MMA being so much action, so much violence, and boxing is more, calculated, perhaps slower, right? So I think all the viewers
sweet
went
science.
towards that.
Yeah, it depends. It depends on which fight too. It depends on which fight. I mean, some fights are pretty exciting.
Yeah.
I mean, some are more up tempo than others. You know, it depends on the style of the fight. Tonight, I think there's Lomachenko versus Devin Haney.
You wanna know who won?
That's I don't know. Is it already?
I'll tell you
what
who
time
won,
is
bro.
it?
No, no, cierto.
I don't know
Yeah.
if Oscar won.
I'm kind of curious too to see if Oscar Valdez won. Yeah,
It was
So
close
my-
when I checked.
Yeah,
I
my
knew
father-
boxing was in trouble when Tito Ortiz fought Ken Shamrock, and everybody ordered that fight, and I was like, "Oh shit, this is the new it. This is it. This is the new wave.
MMA.
Like this is the new wave. It's gonna be MMA shit. It's gonna be UFC. I remember
WWE now.
I started watching Pride fighting. I started watching all of them. Fucking Sakuraba.
went to Pride, bro?
Yeah, dude, all of it, dude. I celebrate you every day. And I go, I was all into it, like heavy. And then I realized, boxing is gonna be put on the back burner, and that sucked for me because boxing and baseball, those were my loves growing up. I was always watching baseball, and I was always watching boxing, fool.
Yeah.
And there was nothing better than watching those fights and then learning about, oh shit, Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. Oh fuck, Maromero Paez Jr. Like I got to the age when I'm starting to watch my favorite fighters, their kids start fighting. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Make it happen again, bro.
I
Bring
don't
it
know.
back.
I feel like it's starting to pick up again. I mean, there's definitely more boxing. I mean, it depends. I mean, obviously, there's more options out there, right? There's like Muay Thai definitely blew up a little bit more. Obviously, MMA is huge, right?
Slap fighting.
So I mean, it's just a different.
Big up
type-
Slazael.
That's right.
It's just different style fightings, But boxing still has a big fan base. I mean,
Yep.
they still have a big fan base and a big following. But adding that social media stuff in there for fighters is definitely important. I mean, because some guys are just making it just off of that, right? Like look at Jake Paul. He didn't have no amateur background grinding, going through these national tournaments, trying to build their resume and
So those two guys are legit fighters?
Yeah, they put in work.
Now they put in
Sure,
work.
yeah.
When they started, they
box,
weren't.
they
But
box.
now they put in work.
They box. A lot of people say, "Oh man, he's not fighting no real boxers," and blah blah blah. But bro, most guys that even professional boxers that box their whole life, you got to build a fighter, right? Like especially if you haven't money invested in a boxer, like you got to build them up. You know, you got to get the right opponent for them. You know, that's gonna put you. Obviously, you got money invested, so you don't want them to
4D
lose.
chess.
So you gotta build
the
them
right
up.
opponent.
So pick the right opponent.
Man, I don't talk shit about fighters.
Blue
anymore.
corner.
I don't talk
The
shit about
Blue
fighters
Corner
only
Productions.
because I know what goes into it. You know,
Yeah.
and we Chikle, respectfully, we only put 2% of what's
yeah.
needed.
That's what I wanted to
Right.
know. Like we go twice a week for about an hour, a little bit over an hour.
It's like and
coach,
that little
right?
bit over the hour is drinking
Greatest, coach.
beers.
Yeah.
Is drinking
How much more
beers.
do we need to put in, dog? How much more do we need to put in, coach?
So I mean, let's
let's say-
training for a boxer getting ready for
Like
training camp,
Raton
getting ready for a
and-
fight,
and
he has
Daniel.
to run in the morning. So there's running in the morning.
Okay, running in the
What
morning.
What time do we wake up? What time we waking up?
Let's say like 5:36 in the morning.
All right, that's my
Okay.
lunch at UPS. Run, let's go.
So you gotta every day is a different run. So like some days you're running a little
Some
more
days-
long distance,
backwards.
Some days you're running at the track. Some days you're doing some more hill rug. You're doing some mountain runs. You know,
Okay.
so there's running Monday
Easy.
through Saturday.
Okay.
Okay.
How many
All
miles
week.
am I looking at?
Fighting
Wait, 6 days a week.
6 days a week running.
How
That's
many
the
miles?
morning.
It depends. Every day is kind of different. One day you're doing a 3-mile run at Roar Park, maybe, or a 6-mile run at Roar Park.
How long?
depending.
How long do I have to complete this?
It
24
depends
hours.
too. Because
All
so,
day.
so running in the morning. Running in the morning.
Running in the morning, and then obviously there's a training session, boxing, and every day is different for that as well. One day is more harder. You got to switch it up. Every day can be hard and go hard, man.
yeah.
No pain, no gain.
That's why everyone's soft now.
That's different, because like, guys putting sparring in there like 6 rounds and they're getting put through the grinder. The next day, their body's kind of feeling it a little bit. So it's a little more lighter workout. Then you do a tough workout. Then you hit sparring again. So you got to be able to, as a trainer and as a coach, you got to learn how to balance it all out. You know what I mean? Because you're getting put through the grinder.
You're a good
Just-
coach, bro. You're a
so-
good coach. Because when we doing the
Hey,
jabs
thanks.
and all
You're
that,
still gonna pay for your
Thanks.
classes,
Wait,
Lo.
I'm the first one to
Don't
bust out the $20 bill.
Let's
When we
go.
doing the jabs, bro, my
$20.
shoulders is hurting, and the next day I gotta cut hair, and I gotta put my hands up like this,
Let's go.
so I feel it the next day for like 2 days, and you switch it up enough, So 6 in the morning running or early in the morning running, then you do a boxing workout, and then what's
Boxing
the next?
workout.
When do we eat burritos?
Burritos is not in there too. See, that's the thing is having the diet.
diet
That's
too?
a tough part.
I'm
That's
out.
a tough part, bro. And like it is a tough part, bro. Like even growing up in it, like missing birthdays or like certain holidays. Let's say a tournament's coming up, you can't. You know what I mean?
You got to sacrifice.
You got to sacrifice.
Like these
you know what I mean?
guys. So you have House of Boxing has these 2 prospects.
We got 2 prospects.
Is
and
this
we have,
Are they
their
signed to the House of
full time
Boxing?
gig?
El Papa es el ratón.
No, they don't have. It's not a full time gig for them because they still have jobs. Unfortunately, eventually,
So they're working.
Unfortunately.
yeah.
You- it-
unfortunately,
So if House of Boxing's management team gets full force up and running when that happens, you would highly recommend that any fighter training in your facility
nah.
would no longer
they
be
still,
employed.
They still have
gotta-
to eat and they still have to live. They still got to put gas in their car.
They probably got
They
a
still have
family.
to, and if for some, luckily for these 2, they don't have family. So I mean, like a
kid.
kids too. Yeah. they have
why
kids.
luckily, Coach? Why do you say luckily they don't have a
because
family?
it is going to be tougher, because
it's
you got to
time,
provide, right? You got to provide. There's time, babysitting. I mean, unless you're not there for your kids, I mean, that's a different story.
They're not allowed at the House of Boxing if they do that.
So
But I mean, yeah, dude. So I mean, it is luckily for these dudes, it's just them, So they're young. So right now they're at a good age, 19, 20 years old. So I mean, they're able to make those sacrifices, and it doesn't hurt them as much. You know what I mean? So, yeah, but they're on the right track, and we got a good team.
We're
with
excited
them.
about them.
Yeah, they're
Yeah?
exciting, bro. They're
All right.
exciting, good, clean
They punch
boxing.
hard, fool.
Yeah.
They're so
boxing.
little, but then when they start working out, like who trains with your grandpa? El Raton? Does he do glove work?
So
with?
both of them, yeah. My grandfather works with both of them, man. Raton, but we also have our coach Jason Arciaga. He does our strength training, and he also fills in with some mitt work because my grandfather is getting a little older, so he can't, hold the body shield and hold the big working those power drills. He can't do it as much. Of course, my dad fills in, but my dad got other obligations that he's dealing with as well too. So he fills in at times.
Talk to us about those other obligations. How did
Yeah.
how
So
did
your
those
pops is coming
opportunities come about?
Yeah.
Works with Canelo's team now.
Yeah,
How did
yeah.
that all happen?
So
Got
we
the
got
Canelo
connected.
gear
We
all
got
day.
we got connected with Canelo through when Canelo fought Mayweather. He moved to San Diego, and we had a fighter, Antonio Orozco, who was signed with Golden Boy Promotions, and Canelo was signed with Golden Boy Promotions at the time. They reached one of the people from Golden Boy reached out to my father and was like, "Hey, there's a gentleman moving to San Diego. Can you build a gym for them?" And my dad's like, "Who is it?" Like, "Oh, 'cause this is for Canelo Alvarez. You know, he's moving here to San Diego. We just need you to build a gym in his garage."
Hell yeah.
So my dad was like, "Sure, we'll go over there and do that for them." So
Which I know
yeah,
where he
man, we
lives.
went over there, build a gym, build a connection, and then they needed some sparring or some connection here. So actually, me and another guy by the name of Simon Torres, we were able to go out and help him a little bit at the beginning, getting ready for James Kirkland. And that was another thing too. Like I almost came back
you
to
got
boxing.
in the ring
I
with
was
them?
gonna, I was
Yeah.
gonna say, did you almost come back to boxing?
Yeah, during that time, because I did a semester of school and I was just done boxing, but my dad's like, "Hey, there's this opportunity to spar with Canelo and maybe," and I just started the new semester, my second semester at school, and I sparred with him, and I'm like, man, I can't be,
Does he
because I
hit
used
hard?
to do that a lot where I was going back and forth, going to boxing and doing the school thing, like half doing, not
and
full
half.
time, you know, part time. But yeah, I almost decided, man, maybe I should just come back to boxing. But I just said, nah, you know, I already made the decision. I'm sticking this out, you know.
Damn, look at the discipline, fool.
Yeah,
did
your
he hit
family
you
by
hard?
then? You had your
How
family by
hard
then?
did he hit?
What happened?
You had your family by then?
No, I didn't.
Oh, okay.
No.
Still single,
So it was-
ready to
so it
meet.
was
No, I
the-
had my girlfriend at the time. She's my wife now.
Yeah.
But she was my
Tell her
girlfriend.
you love her, fool.
Yeah, I love my wife. And
Hold on. Canelo Alvarez, you're
Yeah.
sparring.
Yeah.
How does he hit hard? It sounds
Nah,
like
the
he
dude-
hits really
yeah,
hard.
he hits really hard, bro. He's a really. I mean, I could only imagine now. He's gotten way better. He's real smart. He has great vision. The dude's talented, bro. I mean, he's my age. I say his birthday's a month after mine, so he's like the same age as me. But the dude's strong, bro. The dude's strong, and he's not easy to hit. You know, he's not real easy to hit. He'll catch it too. He doesn't mind just like playing possum kind of, you know. He'll let you let you get comfortable, and then he'll just rip a shot, wham wham, you know.
But you had him, huh? Two-time Golden Gloves.
Nah, but
You knocked
know
the
what?
red out of his hair.
I mean, they're good people, bro. Him and his coach, Eddie Reynoso and Chepo Reynoso, father and son coaching as well. You know, they come from humble backgrounds, bro. And I mean, they just grew up in the sport too.
Very
And they
similar
got-
like your family, huh?
Yeah, exactly. And they got blessed with Canelo Alvarez, man, and they're really good dudes. So I mean, that's how we got connected with Canelo and the whole Canelo team. And then my father eventually started helping him out. And whenever they do their media days, they come to our gym and
They
all
invite
these different,
Emo Brown.
yeah,
and
we
Emo
invite
Brown
Emo
Media.
Brown last
You
one.
know, it's
Let's go.
It's an opportunity for all of us.
Emo
to
Brown Media Network. You hit him with a good question.
Not only
though.
did I
That
hit
was
him,
a really good question.
I hit him with a great question, Coach. Yes,
that was.
confirmed. And then he hit me with a lie because he said that en mayo,
En
mayo va a estar listo
where
los
is it
tacos,
at?
compa, en
Pero,
mayo.
where, ¿en dónde va a ponerlo?
A block from the Elwood. So it's like the Elwood. We're on Broadway and J. Your friendliest dive bar in Chula Vista, right there on J Street.
3-star.
Best 3-star dive bar in Chula Vista. One block over.
South?
North on
North?
on Broadway, on the right hand side, the same side as the Elwood, is a vacant building, and in that vacant building is where the taco shop is being built. But
Still
ain't
in
no
the works.
movement there, fool.
It's like a big
Ain't
building?
no- it's pretty big, bro. It's pretty big. There's a building for sale next door.
Across from the Vogue.
What the fuck? You're right, no.
No, it's called the Vogue.
Oh, the Vogue.
party.
Yeah, they
Party
have
place.
like a pinche salon.
Yeah, un salon.
Un salon de pinche quinceañeras and stuff. It's called the Vogue
It's
Salon
2
or
stories?
something. And it's right across from there, dude.
Got
And
it.
he got in a little bit of trouble because that dude said, it's, and let me get in my Canelo voice. Es que yo quiero traer tacos buenos a San Diego. You know? And then I was like, what? And I was like, what? They got good ass tacos here, fool. Because what are the tacos from Guadalajara like? Casas, what are they like?
Just dry as fuck, man.
Dry as fuck. You see, bro?
I don't know, bro. I go to the Tlaquepaque. And then in
Put him on mute,
Tlaquepaque-
fool. Put him on mute.
And
Put him on
Tlaquepaque, I
mute.
have the churros.
Ya valió.
Yeah, he's out. So yeah, I'm saying that look at him still talking. He's not even on the mic anymore. It's fucking just leave him like that the whole fucking conversation.
Hey, talking about connected, dude. What about this 12-year-old camera work right here?
Uh-oh. Oh,
Damn.
Ruben Torres,
Jefe
Jefe
Clothing.
Clothing.
Damn, we've been doing this shit, man. This is 12 years
that's,
ago, man.
bro. That's crazy that we did that. That's crazy how we got connected through there.
Yeah.
Look at. That's
That's in National City.
Yeah.
That's my pops.
Oh, there he is.
Let's go.
Let's go. All right, here. Let's go.
David,
is
that was after the accident?
Yeah, that was after the accident.
Yeah,
though.
the
that
accident story's on
that
here.
was yeah. That
that's
was
what
part
you
of the
guys were
story.
talking about.
Yeah, that was part of the story. Part of the whole.
Crazy, man. Full
What I was
circle.
talking here. Yeah, I know. bro,
Circle
I know.
Realty.
Hey.
Man, what a fucking career you've had then, bro.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, I've been doing it for a while, so I mean, like I said, I grew up in it, so I mean, it's been fun.
What's your most memorable moment in your professional
I want to
career?
say the best boxing trip I ever had, bro, was going to. There's this boxing coach in Pacoima named Fidel
Pacoima.
The
Briseño.
home of Ricardo
Okay.
Valenzuela.
Wait, it's Cuban guy or what?
Nah, he's a Mexican dude. The regional team. Let's say you won a regional tournament here, and you're going to the nationals. He invites a lot of those boxers. Like, hey, I take a team to Tahiti to go box
Whoa.
to fight the Tahitian team.
Oh, wow.
Are you interested in going? I was like, yeah, of course. I'm down to go. Yeah, that'll be fun. So he invited me and then a bunch of other guys that won the tournament. We all went out to Tahiti to go box.
No way.
Hell yeah.
Oh, yeah, bro. It was nice.
How old were you?
It was
Yeah.
like, I was 20 or 19, 20.
Oh, yeah, that's mañoso. Ya era mañoso. David Mañoso.
Yeah, bro. So, dude, that was a great experience, bro. Just
All
being
boxing,
with the,
right?
Yeah, all boxing. But then at the same, it was a whole week. We stayed there for a whole week. We only fought twice.
Oh.
So we had fun, bro. We had fun. We enjoyed.
Interesting.
Yeah, we enjoyed it, bro. We went to like some other island.
Go ahead.
And we
Yeah,
did
you
the
did.
whole. Yeah. Let's go.
Let's go.
Most
bro.
memorable knockout in the ring.
Yeah. You know what? I want to say my first knockout when I was 16, bro. That was before the accident. Like I said, I was performing well, bro, and I was just getting better. But yeah, 16, bro. When I got my first one, and because it kind of like, oh man, I got that man strength now. Like it kind of that man.
That happens at
strength kicked in.
16?
Yeah, bro. Because I mean,
Fuck,
I put,
bro.
I
Really
put a-
late.
Hey, wait, aquí estoy 44. When's it coming? Ya ven.
No, you're kids.
Yeah, dude. I put a kid to sleep, bro. So like,
that's
I
the
hit
way
him
to go.
With
I
what?
hit him with the hook, with the left hook. I was just going boom, boom, and then wank, and he just went wham.
Look at that plant.
Hey,
That
took
plant.
the plan out.
No pasa nada. Fuck the environment. No,
This
stay
is
away. That's a
this is water.
succulent.
Yeah,
dog.
yeah,
It's a
yeah. It's
succulent.
for decoration.
Damn.
How does it
Yeah,
feel
bro.
to put somebody's lights out? That's got to be crazy.
You know what? You don't expect it because I mean, they say the knockout comes when you least expect it. Like you're just throwing combinations, and I guess that's how I did it the first time. I was just throwing boom, boom, boom.
Oh, perdón.
I just threw a hook and it caught him on the chin, and he just went boom and
Those
just
are
went down.
fast, too, man. You guys
So-
punch fast.
You introduced yourself to me as, hi, how you doing? Coach David Barragan, Golden Gloves champion.
Golden
What is,
Two-time.
what is, what?
Two-time.
You know what? I was actually not a Golden Gloves champion. It's just one of those tournaments. It's a well-known tournament. It's just another tournament, like a national tournament. Because in amateur boxing, you gotta like, I think, I'm not sure how it is now, but I think you gotta win like certain tournaments and get points. And eventually, if the more points you collect,
You get to the
become
top.
ranked. Yeah, you become more ranked higher in the country. So I mean, I'm not sure how it is now, but Golden Gloves is just another like, it's just a well-known tournament because I mean, obviously all the drunk deals love to say that one. Oh, Golden Gloves champ.
He has it. He showed me his card. He's like, I also do, accounting, and it says David Barragan, Golden Glove accountant. I was like,
Golden
oh
Glove.
shit, bro. I was
Gold.
like, este güey sí sabe, quiero que haga mis números el vato. And that's exciting stuff, man.
Yeah. But yeah, man.
As a professional, how many knockouts?
I've had three knockouts.
So you were 8-0 with three knockouts.
Yep.
Damn.
8-0, 3 knockouts. I wanna say
Meanwhile, Los's mic is still off.
For real? Let's cut that.
Oh,
Go
okay,
ahead.
Casas. Okay, Casas.
All right,
you're back,
Los,
you're back.
you're back. Give us a good one, and then promptly turn
It
them off.
was the left hook.
Ask him the question.
Go ahead and
again.
ask the question again, Doug.
My mic on?
Yes.
Okay. I just want to make sure it's on. Y'all already
All right,
fucking
turn
me.
them off. Fucking
Y'all left hooks? All your knockouts left hooks?
I want to say I want to say, yeah. One of them was like a multiple punches, and they stopped the fight. You know.
Yeah.
Damn.
But I guess that's called like a TKO.
Ooh,
That's
I
right.
guess. I guess that's
I think
probably
that's what it's
TKO.
called. Yeah. when the referee comes in and stops it, like
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
a TKO. But then a KO is when you like knock a dude out.
Count
you know?
to 10.
You scare
Yeah,
me
yeah,
sometimes
just-
in training, and I'm going to tell you why. You'll be showing us a move. He's like, all right, guys. And then he like gets in the zone, and he starts going through the motions like, pop, 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 pop.
Yeah.
And then you look at him, and he fucking forgets he's training us. He forgets
Yeah.
he's coaching us.
Like
and
10
he just
minutes go by.
Dude, and he's on the bag, and he's... All right, Chikle, that's what you need to do. We're like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
We're like, what do you feel when
Do
you're
it like-
coaching? Fool? Do you get lost in the moment? It feels like you just tap
Yeah,
into your...
sometimes it's different. Just it was definitely a learning experience for me, just because like I've done it my whole life, right? So it's kind of like, yeah, you're supposed to do it like this, you know, like this.
And then he
Rather
turns to
than
the
kinda
bag,
breaking
and
it
then he
down.
starts doing it, bro.
Rather than kind of breaking it down to them, you know, because some people like never done it or like don't know how to throw a punch correctly. So you got to show them and break it down a little bit, you know. But obviously, with us here at House of Boxing, we like to like teach basics, fundamentals. It's real important because eventually, from there, learning the fundamentals, all the extra stuff comes, you know. But if you don't know how to keep your hands up, or like you're throwing a jab and your right hand's down, or you're throwing a right hand and the left hand's down, little basic stuff like that, I mean, you got to correct that stuff early, you know. And just rotation of the feet and the hips, like all that stuff kind of comes into play. But it just comes with going every day and learning and being surrounded by good people that
For shits and
Gotta show
giggles.
you.
For shits and giggles. Así nomás, you know, just so you know.
Like just
A
saying.
ver, pues,
Just
a ver,
for fun.
cuéntate,
Yeah.
cuéntanos.
If you're going to rank all of us and how we train
snap.
and how we get down, you know,
In our own weight class.
you know,
In our own weight
all of a
classes.
sudden, all of a sudden, all of
you-
it. I'm
have
just
you
talking
guys-
straight
wait.
pound for pound.
wait, have you guys signed up for your new membership yet?
Go ahead.
That's next week. That's next week.
Coach,
Okay,
I'm all in.
I'm not
That's
gonna
last
say
week.
nothing.
I'm
I'm
in
not
there.
gonna say nothing.
Do you see something in Chikle that inspires
No,
belief?
you know what?
in-
All you guys, bro, all you guys have improved.
little bit, a little
Honestly,
bit.
It's kind of weird because sometimes when I do these sessions, sometimes I forget to point out the improvements, you know, because like I see them every day. So like I don't really notice them, but that's something that I learned as a coach.
Sounds
is
like a
kinda-
Sandler movie or something.
I would like to hear him. I always see you telling Steve how he's getting
Yeah,
better.
so
You
so
never tell
Steve
me
wants to
nothing.
hear it all.
No, because Coach tells me, he's like,
Yeah.
hey, champion.
Es que eres
Which
el
I love that
especial.
word.
No, he tells me like 3 times, champion. And the last one is emphasized, like, champion.
The last one's with a C.
He's like, you're getting better. He's like, your punches, they're getting harder.
Yeah.
But he says it like in a fucking Mexican, like Morgan Freeman. They're getting harder. You're doing really good. If I had you 20 years ago,
You could have been somebody.
me lo dice bien sexy, fool. I don't
Sí.
think he tells you those things.
He doesn't.
No?
No.
Tell him something, coach.
Yeah,
Nah,
Make him
Chikle's
feel
improved a lot.
like you make me feel. Go ahead.
Chikle's
Come on,
improved a
man.
lot, you know, as far as fundamentals.
I drew the logo, bro.
the footwork. Chicle has gotten a lot better.
Sí.
Hey.
Come on, Twinkle Toes, let's see him.
Hands,
be the
hands
dancer.
up, throwing
Ya
the
no baila
punches.
solo el Chikle. El Chikle
Puedo
ya sabe
bailar, puedo bailar en el ring.
Yeah, man.
Now do lows.
Turn my mic on though.
Now do lows. Your mic is on, fool. Go ahead.
Yeah, what about me, coach?
Los improved a lot. You know, we
Yeah.
had a good session the other day.
He put the
Nice
gloves on the right
vacation,
hand.
nice vacation.
He put the gloves on the right hand this time. He's getting better. He's getting better.
Nah, man, Los has gotten a lot better, especially with that one-on-one session we had. You know,
Hey, the one-on-one
fool.
sessions are good.
Hey, fool, I'm not a
Yeah.
smart man, but you ain't shit based on what Coach. Coach is like, yeah. You've gotten a lot better.
Hey, coach, tell him,
Go
coach,
ahead,
tell
Tim.
him.
hey, we're gonna
Mouthpiece.
we need to get the mouthpiece. Once he gets
Oh,
the mouthpiece,
I'm game.
shit.
Hey, I already
Hey.
ordered that shit.
we're ready.
Game
Huh?
it.
Cool.
We're ready.
You are what you are.
Hey, you know who else wants a mouthpiece?
Who?
Damian. He's been telling me, I'll get in the
El
ring. I'll get in the
Sparrow.
ring.
Yeah.
So,
Hey, who's gonna fight him though?
I don't know. We need to find him a
We'll
kid.
we'll figure a kid out. Yeah.
Fuck, dog.
That'll
He's
be
been
nice.
on it
Now
now.
we can get Profe to go in there. Coach David Barragan of the world famous House of Boxing.
House of Boxing.
This is the first one. We want to do more. I want to do some Joe Rogan shit, and we'll order a fight, and we'll just fucking get on a sick one on the couch and just talking shit, watching the fight, bro.
Watching the
Is that
fight?
something you would be down to do?
Yeah,
Without
I love-
Los, don't worry. No,
Well, he
Los
used
won't
to
be here.
tell him
Hey,
David had
if I ain't coming, he ain't coming.
Yeah.
That's
Coach
weird.
got my back.
David had a YouTube show where they would talk about
We
boxing.
used to have a
I
YouTube
saw it, man.
channel, bro.
Yes.
House of Boxing
House of
TV.
Boxing TV, bro.
It was, but the only thing is, it's just, I had kids.
While you were
That
on the show.
changes things, so I know.
Weird.
Unaired episode.
Weird episode. Yeah. That was on Patreon, bro. That was for real fans.
That was before OnlyFans.
We are the
Yeah.
real fans.
But it is tough having the, putting out a show every week, staying on that.
Yeah, it's weird. No, I don't know how people do that shit.
Yeah, bro. So we did that, and the thing about it is we had some guests on the show. We had
Yeah.
Alfonso Gomez. We had our
hell
fighter
yeah.
Antonio Orozco.
The
on
contender.
there. The
Orozco.
contender.
The
We had Alfonso
contender.
Gomez on there.
Sergio the Snake. What was his
I know,
last name?
Sergio Mora.
Sergio Mora.
Yeah. And that was the goal, is to eventually have all these guys. I mean, obviously my dad's connected with some of these guys. Oscar Valdez, who's fighting tonight. So eventually we wanted to get those guys on the show, and eventually just kind of pick their brain a little bit. But
Bring it back.
yeah, I was thinking about it, but it's just hard. And we were giving our opinion on fights and stuff like that, and kind of fight predictions, stuff like that. But it's just hard, just having to get content out and just having to find time to get together. So
Here at Emo Brown Media, the Emo Brown Media Group, all right, pa que sepas, I implore you
let's go.
to jump on here before another major fight. Look at before the next big fight. You come on here, we do a quick, hey, this is what's gonna happen. It's almost like gambling, fool. It's like the smart money is on this person. Let's go. We can people love this shit. Emo Brown News Network,
Emo
bro.
Brown Boxing Breakdown.
Bro, Canelo, he told me, he's on, hey, ¿sabes qué, güey? I was like, what's up?
Maya, güey.
I was like, what's up, Canelo? He's like, tú fuiste el más chingón que me preguntó unas preguntas acá verga. It's like, I was like,
Pinches preguntas
I
ahogadas.
was like, obvio, microbio. I was like, ladies and gentlemen, aquí estamos. David Barragan, the world famous House of Boxing. Thank you for cruising through. We're going to hang out again. Drink a shot before we're not going to end until you're taking a shot.
Y tómale, pa' dentro.
I got mine in there. Don't you worry about me.
Cheers.
Está todo empty.
Woo!
Is my mic still on?
You were off. Go.